Ten Skeleton, Royal Blood, good morning. It's Josh Widdicombe. It's been so long. Feels like it's been so long, Neil. How long have I been away? A week.
Yeah.
God, I've missed it. It's good to be back. Here we are, the old team, reunited for one last job. No?
What do you know that I don't?
Oh, no, I didn't mean that. I just, well, maybe we're going to go, maybe we'll be, I don't know. We are like kind of cop duo, aren't we? No?
Who's the good? Who would be good cop, bad cop?
Oh, you'd be, I don't know, really. I'd just be, well, I think we'd just be bad cop, but not in terms of being nasty, just in terms of quality. I thought I'd start today. Normally we give context to things, but I got stood up by my friend last night. Admittedly, I've stood her up before by mistake. And my friend Roisin, once of this parish, when she's been a guest, I'm just going to start using that phrase, of this parish, meaning they've been on. I've told you before that I once stood her up because I got lunch on the wrong day. I got the wrong day for lunch. And she was texting me saying, I'm so hungry, I have 2 starters. And I was thinking, it's tomorrow. I don't know what you... Anyway, she stood me up last night and I got this text. Sorry, I'll pay you back for the ticket. I convinced myself I had meningitis, but then I had a Rogan Josh and the rash went away. Is that an excuse?
No.
The thought that I should have a Rogan Josh before I actually go to the doctors with this. Convinced myself I had meningitis without a Rogan Josh, so...
Sweat it out.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's what NHS Direct had diagnosed. How's your 2 weeks been?
My 2 weeks have been good, thank you very much.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've discovered eggnog latte from Starbucks.
Have you?
Yeah.
Right, so what? This is the Christmas...
The red cups are in season.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'm tempted by Christmas, some Christmas music underneath this little anecdote, Neil. Yes. There we go. That is nice.
Yeah, I was coming...
What is eggnog?
I don't know.
You don't know?
But I've never had one of the Christmas...
Well, I know what egg is.
Well, I know what egg is.
What's nog?
Head, I guess.
What? Egghead?
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
Nog's not head, is it?
Yeah, you're noggin. Use your nog.
Yeah, I don't think that's what... No,
Is that just in my house?
That's just in your house, yeah.
Okay.
So you had an eggnog latte.
Yeah, and now...
Does it taste of egg? Or is it more egg or nog?
We don't know what a nog is.
No, but I suppose you can tell how eggy it is, and the rest must be nog. The difference, if you tried an egg and then try eggnog, the difference in those tastes is nog. That's complete science. That's a controlled test. What we're going to do... That's how we'll finish the show. We'll get in some eggnog, and then you can describe the difference and we can work out what nog is.
Okay.
And then we'll play, I want to know what nog is. Yeah?
I think we should play something else.
Are you not happy with this conversation?
I think it's run its course.
Yeah. All right, this is Paolo Noctini.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Paolo Noctini, Iron Sky. Got to get the word nog for eggnog. We know what it is now. It's alcohol. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
It's nodding. Okay.
It's a bit like when a magician reveals its trick. It's always slightly disappointing when you find out the answer, isn't it?
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
I mean, I can't remember the last time he had a day off. Producer Neil, good morning.
Good morning, Josh.
There was a period during the first year when, you'd have time away and we'd have producer Dave, but you seem to have...
I think the producer Dave only covered twice, and one of them was when I was on paternity.
I think he did 3.
Let's not fall out this early in the show.
Fine. The holiday is there. Would it still be producer Dave?
I think so, although he has other responsibilities on the station.
Who's the
now.
third rung?
I don't know. I don't think we've gone down in that barrel just yet.
Oh, an absolutely cutting comment from producer Neil on the depth of XFM's squad.
It wasn't meant like that. I just meant,
Do you think you need more squad players? Is that what you're saying?
Our squad is one of the strongest in the league. The backroom staff we've got.
The backroom staff, oh yeah.
Are amazing.
The boot room.
Yeah, I mean, our boss did present 3 envelopes and said, it's 3 names in these envelopes that might let us down this year in listening figures.
Yeah, and it was your name 3 times. So, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much.
Good. You've got a present for me?
I have indeed, yeah. I'm feeling pumped because I completed the task you set me, which
What was that?
Well, you wanted me to get
Recording a top-notch radio show.
Top-notch radio show, which features Emma Bunton saying...
Oh, you've got me Emma Bunton.
Yeah, saying your wish
Or at least
for...
her voice.
Her voice. The catchphrase of the show was what you wanted.
Which I came up with last week. That implies a level of thinking. I think I said it in a panic and then tried to pretend that it was intentional.
Would you want to hear your present?
Yeah.
Sunday morning, Josh Widdicombe, XFM. It's the Holy Trinity.
I mean, it is good, isn't it? It is good.
Yeah.
So only 4 more Spice Girls to get then. I'd say that's the easiest because she works in this building.
Yeah.
Do you think if you saw them and they'd met up, you'd think that's nice, or you'd think, have a day off?
I think that'd be nice.
Okay.
Just like you, if I was to see you and Adam Hills and Alex Brooker together.
Never going to happen. Right, this is XFM. Ben Howard.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Ben Howard Conrad edit on XFM. There's more where that came from.
There is the album version.
Buy the album, and you'll get more than 3 minutes 58 seconds of that. I think that's his slogan, isn't it?
I'm not going to have him record that.
Well, you know, if you loved the show, you would. Now, any other business, readers' complaints, listeners' complaints, even. It's because I am reading it.
Yes.
When I come to do any other business, I think of reading. I mean, let's move on. Listeners' complaints, and we either reject them or uphold them. If we uphold them, we will hear this sound. Yeah. And if we reject?
Unlucky.
Dear Josh, in episode 84 of the podcast, God, where do our lives go? Whilst you and intern Charles were discussing Charles's love for Dermot O'Leary on BBLB, you asked if he started to dress like Russell Brand when he took over. Russell Brand didn't host Big Brother's Little Brother, but in fact hosted the late-night sister show Big Brother's Big Mouth. Yours pedantically, Sarah. Hello, I'm a podcast listener, and last week you referred to someone who keeps all their music on their phone as someone that doesn't really like music. What did you give your views on this, Neil?
I didn't, no, because I don't have any.
What? How can you not have any views?
Because we're in the middle of AOB and I can only focus on one thing at a time.
I have almost 6,000 songs on my phone and have room for more. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm a huge music fan and I'm well known as being up to date and knowledgeable about multiple genres. Who's well known on that? What's he like? He's up to date and knowledgeable on multiple genres, yeah. Oh, Daniel! Yes! Keeps his music on his phone, but there's room for more. Love the show, and I've started cabbaging my friends because of it. I'm sure they'd appreciate it more if they were also listeners. Regards, Daniel. I actually imagine he's well known for giving cabbages to his friends that don't know why he's doing it, other than his love of music. I'm not going to uphold that, because 6,000 songs, that's only 60 albums. Oh no, it's 600 albums.
Well, I'm not going to uphold it because he's clearly not inducted his friends into the podcast.
Oh yeah, very good point.
So bitterness tells me.
If anything, he's turning them against himself.
Yeah.
Dear intern Charles et al. Very clever. Long-time fan of the show, but in episode 83, James Acaster committed a heinous grammatical crime against Josh, the miscorrection. Josh said, open brackets granted incorrectly, close brackets, synopsises, when talking about the plural of synopsis that he was going to give James in the Call My Josh segment. James, with sarcasm, asked Neil to check whether it was synopsises or synopsi, as he didn't like the way he was addressed. It is neither. The correct plural of synopsis is synopsis. I mean, this is amazing. I can live with minor grammatical mistakes, but I will, and this is all in caps, I will never allow mistakes to be mistakenly corrected. Keep up the great work. I wish more podcasts gave their listeners the opportunity to correct their mistakes. Ed the Belgian, sort of. What do you make of that?
Well, this is new information to me, so with stuff like this, I automatically assume it's correct.
Yeah, we don't actually know that he's correct. There's not much to say on it, really, is there? Because we don't know. So we can neither uphold or reject it.
Dear Josh, producer Neil and intern Charles, in episode 85, Where Does the Time Go?, James Acaster told an anecdote about his mother participating in a pet rescue recording involving a bat. Which was as good as it sounds if you didn't hear that one. According to James, the name was Radar, as such a cliched name for a bat. Bats, however, do not use radio waves, but instead ultrasound. The name Sonar is therefore a much more appropriate name for a bat, albeit cliched. I love the show. Keep up the good work. Steve in Finchley, London, UK. So bats don't use radio waves?
No, they use ultrasound.
Is that like digital radio? Have they turned off their frequencies? I mean, they've got to make the changeover at some point. What I worry about is the old bats that they haven't got the sonar. If you have any AOB, you need to uphold that one. Press mail. Yes. Email us, josh@xfm.co.uk. This is the Happy Mondays Kinky Afro. It's got 14 seconds. I can keep talking.
10.
9. 8. Should we just play the song?
Let's just do that.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
New Order, Blue Monday on XFM with me, Josh Widdicombe. And now it is the time of the show when we really set the tone, I feel, for what's going to go on in the next 2.5 hours or so. It's today's topics. Right, first thing. Now, I was in Clacton this week, filming. Have you been to Clacton?
Never.
Are you a fan of the British seaside?
I don't mind it.
You don't mind it?
I like the arcades. I like fish and chips. I like curry sauce. I like sand.
I'm just not going to speak and see how long you keep saying I like.
I like barnacles.
You like barnacles?
I like tides.
No. Well, let's go back on the barnacles. What do you like about barnacles?
It's the way they stick onto things, like they're immovable.
You kind of got yourself out of a hole, but you really were struggling there. The lamest things you got. I struggled to control my competitiveness in those arcades.
What were you playing?
Obviously, the penny pushers. I won for the first time an object on the penny pushers. Chopper chops. So, you know, like a pretty successful guy. Cherry flavour, not the best, but, you know, I'll take it. Also then went bowling. It's all about being in your head bowling, isn't it? I'd say 90% of the battle on temp in bowling is mental. Basically, I can get competitive over. I have to stamp this out in myself because I can get competitive over anything. Are you a competitive man?
Not really.
No.
I think if we ever kind of did some sort of sporting thing together, I would annoy you. Because I'm just a bit like, don't worry about it. We all get oranges at half time.
You could have that on like an Athena poster. Don't worry about it. We all get oranges at half time. So you don't get competitive over things?
It's not massively.
Right. Well, because I also like to play games. On the way back from filming, we played how many members of the film crew can you name?
I would expect you could name 100% because you're a professional.
Of course. So you always play a game you're going to win. Yeah, we've been looking for the lamest things you got competitive over. Also, you wanted, there's one each really this week, terrible slogans on mugs.
It seems every week I draw inspiration for my topics from being on a train.
It does. It's almost as if you live on a train.
Yeah, this lady had just unbelievable. It was, today is when you prove your worth.
Oh, God.
I felt sick.
But on yours it said, we all get oranges at half time. Today is when you prove your worth.
Yeah.
Do you think she's gone out and bought that? Or do you think someone's bought it for her?
I reckon someone bought that for her to like G her up. She was having a hard time at work. So this will help you on the way in.
Yeah. I get mugs printed up for people. It's a good gift.
Cool.
It's like $7.99. You can just get a photo and a slogan put on it. I've got a mug with all the British Prime Ministers on it. So I'm not just drinking, I'm learning.
Tasting the past.
Tasting the past, yeah. Oh, needs more sugar. That'd be Thatcherism, making everything a bit bitter. That's the kind of banter I indulge in. Oh, lovely. It was Nye Bevan. He wasn't Prime Minister. He was purely that was panicking. I haven't read the mug. I don't know any Prime Minister. Oh, Ted Heath. I could go on. Do you want me to?
No.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Smells Like Teen Spirit, Nirvana. Josh Widdicombe on XFM. 23 years old, that song?
Something like that.
That makes me feel, fine, really. Time moves on. Let's embrace the chronology of time, yeah, guys? That could be our new phrase. Can you get Emma Bunton to record that? Let's embrace the chronology of time, the Josh Widdicombe Show.
I will, as ever, have a word.
No, don't.
Okay.
Let's not push our luck with bunts. Now, well, you're not listening. You said you've downloaded Serial, but you've not listened to it. If you haven't heard this, it's a, and I can't believe intern Charles doesn't listen to it.
I will.
You will. It's the #1 podcast, isn't it, in the world?
Annoyingly.
I know. I can't believe they knocked us off top spot. But it's basically a documentary about is it a miscarriage of justice or not? We don't know. From 1999, and a journalist investigating it. It's quite grim because it's about a murder. And I said to my mate yesterday, "What are you up to tomorrow?" And he said, "Oh, I'm going to listen to the second episode of Serial in bed with my girlfriend." And it's just that I've never. They're listening to it together. Now I understand that with box sets. I've never made an appointment to listen to. Do you ever just sit and listen? People don't do this, do they? Like, do you, Charles? You're into it. You would just sit and listen.
Yeah.
Where do you look?
In bed, I suppose. Or
You look in bed.
out the window.
So I just.
Or read.
You read, yeah, but then you can't listen and read.
Read comics.
Oh, it's unbelievable. So, I don't know if anyone's listening to this and just listening, or whether people are always doing other things. So, what are you looking at? That's what I want to ask.
While listening to the show.
While listening to the show, what are you looking at? And you can send in photos.
Yep. So tweet
83936. What? I don't understand, because I don't get it, Neil. I don't get it. Do you ever just sit and listen?
Well, no, generally I'll kind of listen to the radio at home when I'm doing other things, but I think we said if I'm listening to the football and I've done the washing up, I'll then just stand in the kitchen.
You just stand
and lean against the surface.
and listen.
Just listen. And then after 20 minutes, my wife will just come in and go, "I thought you were doing the washing up."
But
like,
just...
I have...
When you just stand and listen in the kitchen, motionless, it's the kind of thing like someone does after they've done a killing spree. And then he just stood in the kitchen and listened to 606.
Well, I haven't done that.
I'm not accusing you of anything.
If anything, I've killed that washing up.
Yeah.
Sparkling.
Yeah, kill those germs.
Yeah.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
We used to throw Pritt sticks up at the ceiling.
Did you?
So they'd stick. And then that got banned and we had to go back to using PV whatever glue. PVC glue at...
No, PVA.
PVA glue.
PVA glue.
At the age of like 16-year-old trying to do a GCC project with the glue sticks. Just embarrassing.
We had... were you allowed to wear brown shoes for band?
No, we had brown shoes. We were allowed to.
Yeah, brown shoes. We also...
But what incident would have led to brown shoes being banned?
There was... I don't want to go into it, mate. It's going to be used. It's the second series of Serial. Also, we had at my primary school we had an Iron Age hut that was built, which doesn't sound very realistic now, but it had to be taken down because it was deemed unsafe, which is unsurprising, really, isn't it?
Josh Widdicombe, XFM podcast.
Sunday mornings on XFM can only mean one thing. It's the producer Neil and Josh Widdicombe show. Would you like to change it to that?
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. No, your body language speaks 1,000 words at the moment. The folded arms of someone who doesn't like the limelight. Now, we are talking about things you got competitive over. We've got Jord, or Jord, probably Jord, probably Jordi Cruyff. I often choose a random pedestrian and walk race with them to a certain point. I get visibly annoyed if I lose. Presumably the random pedestrian doesn't know. But I do that. Don't you do that?
Yeah, do you ever do sound effects in your head?
No.
So if I'm walking along and like I've got to weave in and out of people,
Meow.
I'll do that. Or I'll sometimes pretend I'm in a cop show and I'll have like a 70s like in my head.
Keep going.
No.
Why, you don't want to pay PRS?
I can make more money out of myself that way, so yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, are you imagining you're a 70s cop? Or what? Wait, are you in a chase?
Yeah, I'm in like a chase, so I'm kind of either following someone or I'm being followed or something like that.
I don't understand you. I don't understand what's going on in your head.
I wish I hadn't said anything.
You are aware no one ever does that.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
That was the Clash Rock Casper. This is Josh Widdicombe on XFM. I don't need to tell you this, but I was watching Pointless this week, and one of the subjects was songs on London Calling.
Oh my god.
Can't wait to wipe.
You don't give me that kind of question and expect to keep your $5,000. So anyway, just want to be clear. We're joined by Ivo Graham.
Hello.
And Miles Jupp is here.
Hello.
Hello. Now, Miles, there's already been a slight friction between you and Ivo, because Ivo is slightly annoyed that there's a trail that goes out on XFM for this show.
Yeah.
And there's a clip of you on it.
Really?
Yeah.
You've made the trail.
I've only been on it once.
I know, but you made such an impact.
I've been on 9 times, Miles. Imagine
Really?
that.
Well, you should be on the... Are you on the trail, Josh?
He's always on the
Yeah.
trail.
Oh, right,
yeah, I'm
right,
on the
okay.
trail.
Well,
Yeah,
it's not totally,
It's not pure Jupp.
It's not, yeah. Well, that's something, isn't it? At least
It's mainly Jupp
somewhere-
laughing. It's a story about Shoe Express. Never mind.
A story who told? I mean, I've got no
There
recollection
was
of
a
this.
tweet in about a guy who'd fainted because he inhaled helium.
All right.
If the listeners are listening in now, they'll probably be hearing it in about 20 seconds time.
They probably assume that I'm you, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, one hopes, but it's really nice to have my name.
Now, we
Mentioned.
also need
Slightly
to
older you.
address that Neil was slightly worried that this might be the poshest bookings for a show of all time. The Jupp Graham Axis.
I'm not worried.
Yeah, I don't know.
What was your school?
Oh no, let's not come on.
What that is not how you start an interview on XFM. I think that's the way. That's probably the way. Actually, maybe that's the way pop works now, isn't it? Yeah.
One of the things we're talking about today, Miles, is minor things that you've got very competitive over.
Yeah, I tell you what I get very competitive about. I once made the mistake of winning with just 5 balls at a coconut shy, 3 coconuts. And as a result of that, I thought, yeah, I've found my sport. And consequently, whenever we go, like a school fete or anything like that, I ended up buying the coconuts last time at my children's school because I thought this is unbelievable. But the bloke that was doing
What
it,
do you mean you ended up buying?
after a while, I said, "Can I just buy some coconuts off you?" Because I'd spent about £6 trying to knock down coconuts, and at the time I didn't know the guy that was
Are
doing
you
it.
aware you can source coconuts in other ways?
Yeah, it just hadn't occurred to me, and I just thought, I'm there. Why am I? I mean, I'm right next to a big pile of coconuts. No one else is remotely interested in the coconut shy as I am. But the blind that was doing them, I didn't know him then, but he's actually a neighbour of mine, and I've met him lots of times since, and we've done some socialising with them. But of course, he always thinks of me as the strange coconut guy. That's like he's never seen anything like it. So I did.
Did he let you buy the coconuts?
Yeah, he did in the end. Well, all proceeds went to the PTA, so it was worth.
Josh Widdicombe.
That is new Paolo Nutini on XFM. Josh Widdicombe. It's Sunday morning. Well, you need to know who is also here. We should do a little register, like Ivo would have done at Eton. Producer Neil.
Good afternoon.
Ivo Graham.
Here, sir.
Miles Jupp.
Present.
Now we've had some tweets on the minor things to get competitive over. I'm tempted to read out someone called Oliver Robert Jenks because he could have gone to school with Ivo.
Absolutely. Or with Miles, or with anyone.
Salt of the earth, Miles Jupp? I don't think so.
Anyone can go anywhere, I think. Although, no, hang on. That's not great because of Ebola. Not everyone can go everywhere at the moment, but as a sort of dream for the future, I think that should be the case. Although obviously we've also got to lower your carbon footprint. It's an absolute minefield, isn't it? trying to say anything of worth.
Oliver Robert Jenks. I got competitive. Throwing chicken nuggets into a small cup from a distance of 7 metres.
Absolutely brilliant.
Very good.
I like this, the 7 metres. I mean, I don't think I could do that.
I had a 20 nugget share box on my own the other day. It's very sad.
That is low. Where were you?
I was on the way home from a gig, and I was going to save them till I got home, but I opened the tube platform was empty because it was like the last train, and I thought I can get away with this, so I opened it up, and it was 6 minutes till the next train. Squeezed out all my sauces into the box, and then I was in the middle of 4 and 3 really quite attractive women. Then came down to wanted to sit either side of me.
Oh my word!
What did you say to them? Don't worry, love, I've got tissues.
Did you offer them a nugget?
I didn't offer them a nugget.
What kind of gentleman are you?
I was nearly done by that point, and I was really prizing the last couple.
You are quite a competitive person, Ivo.
Yes. Do you want proof?
Yeah.
Go-karting. April 2000.
I don't like go-karting.
Well, I won't be going again for some time. But I was invited by a friend to go. It was in sort of May, June, and it was his office party. But they got a Groupon deal, and they'd got too many tickets. And he said, "You don't do anything today. Do you want to come go-karting with my office?"
You went on an office party.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I doubt office parties are any more exciting than working in an office.
Well, they are when you're go-karting in Charlton, and it was a fifth. I ignored most of the safety video.
Gnawed or ignored?
I ignored. I was ignoring. I was gnashing my teeth with.
There was a safety video.
Yeah, about sort of respecting the lights and not being what was generally referred to as the dark Carter.
Oh, blimey!
I got kicked off after 14 laps for not respecting the orange light means slow down rule.
Were you the only one that was kicked off?
I was the only one that was kicked off.
What did you do?
I was waved over to one side and told that there were no second chances in go-karting. And
really? Not like life?
No.
This isn't like life. This doesn't prepare you for anything. This is an end to itself, and you have failed. You would get 72% of your money back, shouldn't you? If that happens to you. That's crazy.
No, but I hadn't paid. I was a freeloader on an office
So
Groupon
what did
deal.
you do?
Miles. Well, the problem is that you're stuck in Charlton. No offence to people of Charlton, but you're in the go-karting place. You're not allowed to leave. And my friend, who was still doing the thing, had the keys to the locker. So I didn't have my phone. I didn't have anything.
So you were just walking around like the Stig?
Yeah. Well, no. I had to remove all the uniform. And
The uniform?
yeah, the boiler suit and the Stig-esque helmet.
But did you have clothes underneath?
Oh yeah, forced to walk around.
Whenever you see someone in a boiler suit, Josh, do you think, oh right, that must be all they're wearing?
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Run DMC, Feet Aerosmith, Walk This Way on XFM. Whoa! Miles Jupp almost fell off his chair.
Sorry.
I mean, that is genuinely the highlight of any radio ever.
Would you believe it? We don't have much wheeled furniture in my house. Completely unused to this sort of setup. That was what I was just helping my daughter. Then I tried to sit down, but the chair had moved. Oh, goodness me!
I mean, that is great radio.
I stress on air that I did not move the chair. I want to get on the trail, but I'm not that desperate.
It's lucky it's a small studio. I could have gone on for tens of metres there. Could have gone right through Classic FM, bumped into Nick Ferrari, who's probably the only person in the building that doesn't use hair gel.
Right.
And me.
And you, of course. And me. Neil, it's week 2. Last week I gave you the exciting news that I may be able to get you a role as an extra.
Indeed. I'm quite excited.
Now, luckily for us, we have a real actor here, Miles Jupp.
Hello.
Hello. No, pratfalls a speciality, seemingly.
They are today. Goodness me, that was a little bit frightening.
Now, Neil, you've downloaded some do's and don'ts for extras.
Yeah, well,
Or supporting artists, as they're called.
Are they?
They are, yeah, supporting artists.
Oh, quite
Essays.
Essays.
The bloody essays you hear people saying. That's what they mean. It's not something I say, but that's who they're referring to.
Now, did you know if the director speaks to the essay directly, they're entitled to £50 more?
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Can that be?
Miles, as an actor, what tips would you give Neil about his step into extras work?
Well, acting, like so much of life, is about largely doing what you're told, and then sometimes being told to do it again without any explanation whatsoever. A couple of times on jobs I've been mistaken for a supporting artist, and I've noticed that people aren't necessarily very polite to you. On Sherlock Holmes, a film in which I might as well have been an essay, because
Were you in Sherlock Holmes?
Well, I did a line but it was cut. It wasn't. In the film, I just put a plate down in front of Robert Downey Jr. But there was a girl who kept. There was a room for the actors. There was about 4 actors in there, which were all sort of megastars, plus me. And then I'm dressed up as a waiter, and there's about 20 extras also dressed up as waiters. I quite fancy. I'm just sort of wandering around. I haven't done my line for about an hour. I'll probably do it again in another hour. I thought I'll go and get a coffee. We're filming this club in on Pall Mall, and so someone said there's coffee out on the street. So I was going towards the front door, and this lady appeared and said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "Someone said there's some coffee out front. Can you go upstairs, please?" And I went, "Oh, okay, yeah." So I went upstairs, and I couldn't see anyone upstairs. I thought, "Well, there's any coffee upstairs. What are you talking about?" So I came downstairs again, and I thought, "No, I'm going to go and get coffee. I don't know what." And she went, "Where are you going?" I said, "I couldn't see any coffee upstairs." And someone says there's some outside. And she goes, "Just go upstairs. Everyone else is upstairs. They're all waiting for you. Please go upstairs." And I went, sorry. I go upstairs, walking around. I can't see anyone upstairs. And eventually I sort of try some doors. And I go into one door, and there's loads of people, and there's all the essays there. And so I thought, why she sent me up here? And So I was walking through the room and there's a door at the other end, so I go back out and I go round the balcony to go downstairs, and I bump into this lady again, and she goes, "I keep telling you, will you get back in that room with the others? Get back in that room." And
Wow.
and it was only the, and I went, "Oh, I'm not one of the SAs. I'm acting." And she went, "Oh." She didn't even apologise. She just I think she was so embarrassed by how she'd been speaking to me that she just sort of stared at her own feet until I sort of walked away. And I thought, God, these people, they must get barked at all day. So expect to be treated like that.
Josh Widdicombe,
We
XFM.
should just wrap up a couple more tweets, shouldn't we now?
We should.
Simon Bowen. Cottage pie making ability, including heated discussion on allowed and disallowed ingredients.
Very good. Okay.
Are you a cook, Ivo?
I'm afraid I'm not a cook.
Are you
no.
not a cook?
Pierce film, insert into microwave. I've become distracted by Miles talking to his daughter again.
Do you do all your promotion with your daughter on your lap?
No, but today it was.
I think it's good.
Well, it just seemed pertinent today because my other children are not very well, so I thought I'd take this young lady out. But also, she has been on TalkSport before. She
Actually.
started talking about the need to draw cats during a discussion about the Ashes.
So your daughter's been on TalkSport?
Yes, it's good. I don't know. You don't need to feel we're completely in control of everything.
No. I'm quite wanting her to speak, just because I'm slightly worried at this moment that people think we've made up a daughter.
All right. Do you want to just say something into there? You say, Josh. Yeah, you don't have to. No, you don't have to. Absolutely. That's absolutely fine.
There is no daughter. Did Catherine Ryan's daughter speak? No.
No, she did.
I think we should start fictionalising small children in the workplace.
Okay, well that's yeah. I wouldn't use that as an electioneering slogan. But,
Fictionalising small children in the workspace.
yes, we're going to save money by having imaginary crashes. You can bring in children, but there's no one to look after them.
I think that draws a line under most of it.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Eels, Mr. E's Beautiful Blues. You're a fan, Ivo?
One of my favourite songs of all time.
Is it?
It's a great song.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Miles Jupp, Ivo, thank you for coming in. As a thank you, obviously you're both here to promote
Mr. E's Beautiful Blues by the Eels.
Manzi's Eel and Mash House.
So Neil, what would you like to promote first?
I will promote that the Noel Gallagher audiobook from his Q&A with all donations go to charity is still available, xfm.co.uk.
There we go. Ivo Graham.
I'm doing the Soho Theatre next week, and I'd love people to come, but none of it will be going to charity, unfortunately. I mean, it's quite tough.
Well,
to
in a
follow
way,
the-
it'll be covering your Edinburgh costs.
Yeah.
Trying to win back some of the loss.
got that this morning. Please come.
It's an amazing show. I loved it. It was,
Oh, thank you, Josh.
it was one of the top 20 shows I've ever seen in Edinburgh.
That's great.
That's a nice
That's
thing to say,
actually
isn't it?
It's a lovely thing to say.
No, I don't go to much.
Been about 19 shows, probably. Yeah.
Miles, you're treading the boards.
Yeah, I'm in Neville's Island at the Duke of York's Theatre.
What a cast.
It's a lovely cast. It's Adrian Edmondson, Neil Morrissey, Robert Webb, and myself in Neville's Island by Tim Firth, which is
And
we're having a lot of
How long's it on till?
fun. We've got to stop on January the 3rd.
Got to stop on
We've
January
got to
the
stop on
3rd.
January
Does that mean
the
you
3rd.
work over Christmas?
We do Christmas Eve and we do Boxing Day. Christmas Eve matinee, Boxing Day evening show.
And the details one more time.
Neville's Island, Duke of York's Theatre, until January the 3rd, 7:30 p.m. Directed by Angus Jackson, starring Adrian Edmondson, Robert Webb, Neil Morrissey, Miles Jupp. The composer is Isabel Waller-Bridge. The stage set designer is Robert Innes Hopkins.
Ivo Graham is on the Soho Theatre, written and directed by Ivo Graham.
All by one person. I don't understand how that happens.
What? Yeah, no, I'm an auteur, old school, like Fellini.
John,
What, the Man U midfielder?
You're like John Waters.
I think that's drawn an end to it. We're not here next week now.
We're not, no, Sunday off.
And then we're back with
People. TBC. I'll be booking guests next week.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.